Welcome to the fourth episode of Porter's Mailbag. I'm Steve Watson, Athletic Director here at Loyola, and excited to moderate tonight's episode. Big welcome to all of our season ticket holders, donors, alumni, friends of the program. We've got a little different format tonight for the mailbag. We're going to talk to seniors Keith Clemons and Tate Hall for the first part of the show, and then Porter's going to break down some recent practice highlights during the second half of the episode, which should be a lot of fun. So a quick reminder to everyone, if you have any questions during the session tonight, type them in the Q&A box, which you'll see down at the bottom of your screen. We've got a pretty tight timeline, but hopefully we'll get to as many of those questions as we can. First, a nice welcome to our special guests, Keith Clemons and Tate Hall. Maybe to start real quickly, I'm going to give you both a chance to say hello to friends or family, anybody who may be watching. I'm sure you told some people that you're going to be on the show tonight, so I'll give you a quick chance here at the beginning to say hi to some folks. Tate, anybody you want to say hello to?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for, tuning in to us. I'm really excited for the season this year. Hopefully goes as smoothly as planned. I want to shout out to my dad. He's got a text. He's on right now, so I want to shout out to him.
How about you, Keith? Anybody want to say
hi?
hi?
Keith Clemons here. I'm just grateful to be in front of the many faces we have here. I'm hoping and praying that all goes well, like Tate says, so we can pack the arena and see some of these faces again.
All right, thanks, guys. And everybody knows Porter. We'll hear from Porter here in a few minutes. I want to start off. Last time I hosted this, someone suggested that I ask rapid fire, kind of fun, get to know the players, get to know a little bit more about the team type questions. And I thought that was a good idea. So that's how we're going to start. I'm going to ask a question, and then Keith, you answer first. And then Tate, you're going to go ahead and answer the same question. Real quick, start with some easy ones. Again, Keith, you're first, then Tate. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right. Your favorite NBA team?
Go with the Lakers. Best team to watch.
Indiana Pacers. Gotta be.
Favorite player? Favorite NBA player?
Rest in peace to the great Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, I would say Kobe too, for sure.
Lakers or Nuggets?
Lakers.
Yeah, it's hard to go from LeBron. Lakers for sure.
Celtics or Heat?
Miami.
I want to say Celtics because I like Brad Stevens a lot, but he got a foot up on him, so I don't know.
So you got to commit. Celtics or Heat?
Yeah, Heat.
All right. Who's going to win it all?
Lakers.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Heat. They're hot right now, so I think they keep the ball rolling for sure.
All right. Least favorite NBA player?
Least favorite NBA player.
Come on. There's got to be somebody you don't like. Tate, go ahead. Who you got?
The one that jumps out to me, I would say Westbrook, probably.
Keith?
Russell.
Probably Harden.
If Crowder Lucas went on here, they'd say Mo Wagner, and with me too.
Right.
All three say Mo Wagner.
Will the Bulls make the playoffs next year?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right, last question. Who's your pick to win the Stanley Cup?
I have no clue.
Tate?
The Blues, are they in it this year? They won it last year, right?
Yeah.
St. Louis Blues?
That was a trick.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm lost on that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's Tampa Bay and Dallas. That was a trick question. I think Ahir would probably be the guy to answer that, being from Canada.
Yeah.
He would know the hockey question. All right, so you guys, you got to be quicker. You got to be quicker with these. So I'm going to ask you some more. These are maybe a little more difficult, but it's going to be about your teammates, and you got to give us a little rapid fire, quick answers to the question. We're going to switch it up. Tate, you're going to go first. No hesitation, fire away. Who's the best defender on the team?
Lucas Williams.
Lucas.
Best dunker?
Marquise? I don't know.
Probably Marquise right here.
Best shooter.
Brad Norris.
Keith Clemons.
I like that. Best shot blocker.
Frank.
Pick one guy to shoot a free throw to win the game.
Me.
Keith Clemons.
One guy on the team you hate to play against.
Crowig.
Crut for sure.
All right, last one. Which one of your coaches is the best shooter?
Patrick.
I'm going Porter Moser.
My guy.
Porter, any surprises with those answers?
Marquise is probably our best shot blocker, believe it or not.
Yeah.
He's the timing of it. I want Frank to be next year. We're telling him really to go after it more, but let's see what other ones. Not really. All the other ones are pretty accurate.
I love the confidence when you hear somebody pick themselves for the shit. All right, here's a couple more. Sticking with your teammates, switch up the order again. Keith, you go first now for these. Pound for pound, strongest guy on the team.
Strongest guy probably be Frank.
Yeah, Frank, for sure.
Most likely to be late.
Marquise.
Yeah, I would say Marquise too.
The sloppiest, messiest guy on the team.
Oh, Marquise.
Oh, way.
Probably Lucas.
Best dresser.
Ooh, probably Luke.
Right here.
Worst dresser.
Oh, that's a bad question.
I know one.
I might have to pass on that one.
Cooper.
All right, and this is the last one. We got to think about this. I'll give you a little extra time on this one. Which teammate goes the longest without doing his laundry?
Cooper, maybe?
Yeah, I was going to say Cooper too.
Porter, give me some feedback. Any surprises?
Yeah, Marquise. I think Marquise is clean. Like Marquise is, I think
Yeah,
he irons. I think all that. That one surprised me. Crut's always wearing his Bears stuff and his that's intentional on his part.
All right, here's my last one. So these are just two more questions, and we'll get into some more serious stuff. But these might be the most important questions I'll ask you today. Don't overthink them. These aren't hard. They shouldn't be too difficult. But quick answers for this. If Porter Moser and Steve Watson played a game of horse, who would win?
I'm going with Porter Moser.
I'll give you a shot, Steve.
There we go.
I'll go with you.
What if they played one-on-one?
Going with Porter Moser.
I'll take the opposite then. We'll see. Let's get it going.
All right.
Keith, you're going to get a lot more shots next year, my friend.
Sir.
Well, hopefully none of this gets you in trouble with your teammates or your coach.
Right.
The Patrick answer was good on the best shooter for the coaching staff. That surprised me though. Let's another quick reminder to folks: if you want to throw a question out to Keith, Tate, or Porter, put it down at the bottom of your screen. You can throw a question in there. Let's talk a little bit about last year. Last season, both of you guys played your first year, Division I, stepped in right away as major contributors. What were the keys for you to be able to come in and compete at such a high level right away? We'll start with Tate maybe on that one.
Just take practice every day. Seriously, for me coming in as a redshirt, not playing a year, I think it was important, to make my voice heard and, just try to help the team win whatever possible. I know we lost two guys in Clayton and Marcus the year before. So I wanted to kind of help fill that role and fill those shoes. So I think it was important for me to bring it every day in practice, like I said, and, contribute to the team the best I could. So.
How about you, Keith? You had to come in and play right away. Tate was able to sit out a year and kind of learn the system. How about you getting acclimated as quickly as you did?
For me, the biggest key was just coming in, being a confident guard, because I was transferring in as a junior, so there was no reason for me to come in with maybe those freshman jitters that freshmen normally come in with. So the biggest key for me was just coming in, being confident, just having a good start right away and just picking up where I left off.
Porter, talk about these guys a little bit. I mean, you got two players who come in first year, both starters, played a ton of minutes, always in at the end of the game. Tell us about what it was you saw in them when you were recruiting them that made you want them to be a part of the program here.
Unequivocally winners. They want to win. Tate, his drive to win, and you see him compete and just every drill, everything, he wants to win. We saw that in his sit-out year. We saw that when we recruited him. Keith, same way, won a state championship, won a junior college national championship. Winners. And we've built this with guys that want to win. And both those guys came in and immediately, and they're both about the team. It was about everything going on. It wasn't about, I got to come in and myself do great, it was about winning. And the thing that's noticeable that everyone on the screens with these two is the jump they made physically this year, even during the pandemic. They're both noticeably stronger. Keith came in and right away he had a meniscus, so he missed the first beginning. It's just so hard for somebody. But then you look how he finished the season. He was gaining his strength as he was going. And then now he's worked really hard. He's gained weight, his strength. Tate is the same way. And I just think they're what we've targeted, guys that are all about the team and all about winning.
Yeah, so Porter mentioned about you guys getting stronger over the course of the summer and heading into this season. Tell us about what basketball and workouts and training has been like for you kind of through the summer and then as school started, how COVID has impacted and what things look like for you now with your training and practices.
Yeah, well, right when the pandemic hit, obviously it's hard. Everything's closed, all the gyms were closed, so you just gotta try to make do and just kind of do what you can. So what I did, I just kind of set up my home gym in my garage with dumbbells, like a jump rope, just get outside and run as far as I could. So just kind of try to make do and do what you can. So but yeah, it's been good so far, being back here, just having unlimited gym access, and I think we're making some tremendous strides going into the season. So.
And yeah, for me, luckily for me, I had a good friend of mine who worked at a good facility. And so during the COVID situation, we went home. I was able to get in and lift weights every day. But on the other end, I wasn't able to get into a basketball gym. So I wasn't able to put up shots or just work on handling. So I was just fiending to get back to campus where we do have unlimited access to facilities. So now being back on campus, me and all the players, you can just tell that we were just eager to get back. And now that since we are in the gym, I know I'm happy and Tate is, and along with the other teammates, we're just, blessed to be back.
What about when you guys first came back? Because you were out of the gym from March, out of our facilities from March up until the middle of July. But then when you came back to campus, it obviously wasn't the same as it was, when you left. Talk about the protocols and the different things that were done to make sure that you were able to train safely and get back in the facilities with your teammates.
Yeah, well, right when we got back, obviously we had to quarantine for a week, 2 weeks. Some guys had different quarantine times, but yeah. So what the one thing that I think is different, or noticeably, you have to check in everywhere you go. So like, I think it's like contact tracing, with the barcodes and such. I think that's the biggest thing that stuck out to me. And obviously, wearing your mask, and there's sanitation stations everywhere. So that's really what we have to do, and kind of get tested every once in a while, or every other week, I believe. So.
Yeah, it's a big difference, but like we all personally respect the protocols because we want to do things safe as possible. Like no one enjoys getting plucked in your nose, but if that's what it takes to have practice or have a season, hey, like I'm willing to do it.
How about for you, Porter? I know, the guys, when they're on the court now, when I've been to practice, they're able to practice without their masks on, but you've always got a mask on. Talk about the difference for you. And I know you had that electronic whistle you were having some fun with for a while, but talk about the difference for you coaching the guys.
Well, these guys will notice I'll sometimes, I wear my mask, but then I'll sometimes stand far away. My voice projects. And, just because I want them to see my face expressions, my passion, and I'll be there. But it's trying to, once we get into practice, they don't have masks, and it's been really try to be somewhat normal. We've been somewhat normal. I mean, the coaches have masks, but it's almost normal now with us. The hard part for me, and I know for these guys, and I have 4 teenagers, is the social part. And I think in the beginning of the pandemic for everybody, they had basketball taken away, a love of something that they love. There's, at that age, interacting with friends is so important, and they had to stay in. And when we got back, basketball was kind of therapeutic for them. To get in the gym, it was therapeutic. You could just see the happiness they were of getting in the gym. But you feel there's so many things. Our guys have been tremendous. We just finished 10 weeks, tested every week, all negatives. They've been following the protocols. They've been staying together. They don't do much. And that's hard and challenging for them. But I love their commitment with the safety. I love their commitment for the safety of others and their commitment for the safety so we can play a season. And that's tough. I think it's tough not high-fiving, It's tough when we get a charge. I'm not in the middle of it all. It's just tough because there's so that part of it is fun interaction, but you just got to be mindful of so many things. And but I do think that basketball has been therapeutic for these guys. It's such a passion and love for them to be able to play every day in there is like, in my opinion, I think just it's one of the bright spots of their day.
Yeah, I've attended
ball drills, but it's they like it.
And I've been around the gym enough now to see your guys are setting a great example. You and your staff are setting a great example for what the protocol should look like as far as following the rules and wearing the masks and things. So it is appreciated, and people notice. People definitely notice. I'm going to go to a question from one of our viewers, Joe Lugos. This is for the players. He's asking, what is the most insane thing an opposing fan has ever said to you? The most insane thing. You got to tell us where it happened too.
Tate, you have some, because with me,
it's hard to
honestly,
think.
Oh, go ahead.
It's hard to think of one particular moment, but I mean, if anything, it probably would happen at Bradley. So, but I can't think of like a specific time.
Porter, do you have anything?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, fans love to get on me. I mean, more than the players. It seems like and I'm right there sometimes. So I've had my share of for earfuls. I think I now have 42 nicknames in the Valley between fans that they're yelling stuff at me. But I had something really bad said to me at Drake, and I approached a student that I just couldn't believe it. I was just looking at my phone. I took a picture of the kid, and I sent it to him. And so, I've had something really, really nasty happen, like said to me. So you just don't like that. I'm just so proud Loyola's not like that. I think Loyola can our fans get on the other team, but it's always a respectful banter. And that's what and to credit to our fans, they've created an atmosphere that we're 25-2 at home the last 3 years in the Valley, 25-2. And that's tremendous. And one of them was when Brent Scott banked that shot. It was a terrible play. Clay, remember that the Final Four year? That still sticks in my crawl. He had that. He didn't mean to bank it. He didn't call bank, and he banked it. And Clay and Ben were. Not that I still think about that, but they've created a great atmosphere. Our fans at our place, and I think we got the best fans in the conference.
I'm going to go to Bridget Wesley. How can our fans support you, even if we can for games? So, what are the things that the fans can do to support the team? So I'm throwing that out there to any of you. And we all know Bridget. She works at Loyola, and she brings her girls to the game. But what can they do if they can't come to the games?
First of all, hi Bridget. How's it going? Hope you and your family are well. I just think if hopefully they're going to be on TV, create atmospheres and excitement. So where you're at, have fun. For you guys too. You guys have so much fun going to the games. I would say, have watch parties, at small numbers into the safety. But I think continuing to support positivity, we just don't know with the fans, but I would just watch, have fun with it, support it. Like, if it's on TV, if it's anything, constantly watch and support these guys.
One of the things, and I'll jump in on this, and one of the things that I've heard Porter talk about a million times is how important it is to have the support of our alumni, of our community, of the neighborhood, the university staff and faculty. And he always puts his arms out and says it takes a village. And I would say spread the word. And someone like Bridget and some of the other season ticket holders and alumni, they've gotten to know the coaches, they've gotten to know the players a little bit, and make sure people understand and know what a great group of young men we have representing our university. They're great students. They obviously have had a lot of success on the court, but we can be just as proud for what they do off the court and in the classroom. And I'd say let's all continue to spread the word and make sure we're growing our fan base.
I've shared emails with our team many a times. I'll get an email from somebody saying, you know what, this young man spoke to my young son after a game. It meant so much. And I'm constantly reading those emails to the team to let them know how much things like that means. And without fans, who knows, the amount of emails, these guys know that it's supported through the ups and downs, of it too. I think those are always positive things.
So I got to read this last one that just came in the Q&A. It's from Bob Hesselsteiner, and he just celebrated his 90th birthday on 9/11. He got birthday greetings, video greetings from Ben Richardson. He's been following Loyola since the mid 40s. And Bob's with us. Bob's a season ticket holder. We see him at all the games, and he's here today. So want to acknowledge Bob and wish him a late happy 90th. And we'll do a proper celebration when you turn 100.
Happy birthday, Bob.
Porter, this one I'm gonna throw this one at you. You've got 5 senior starters returning. 2 of them obviously here with us tonight. What are your expectations for these 5 guys, and maybe these 2 in particular for this coming season?
We're going through our rounds of individual meetings. We finished 10 weeks. I started with them. I've had the seniors now, so I've each had my individual meetings with these 2. And one thing I've talked about them is strength in numbers, leadership. One thing, Bruno was the lone senior last year. And one thing about having numbers of seniors, is that, Jake Boffman's a senior as well, who's been in our program. So we got 6 guys that are in that last year. And I go, strength in numbers. And the one thing that we've talked about is there's a major difference between playing hard and competing. And there's a difference. And these guys have an urgency about them that we've really talked about as leaders, but it's not on any one shoulder. And that's the beauty. It's not on it, but collectively together, they can create a great leadership force and have a leadership team. with that. And I think that's these two guys have really embraced that because they got Crut and Lucas and Ahir and Jake, and you got some older guys that have been through it. But you also know it. I want them to have fun. It's their last year. It's going to be tough. Focus in what's right in front of them. The other hard part is there's a lot of unknowns. We don't know what our non-conference schedule is going to look at as of right now. But we've talked with these guys. You guys control what you control. It's you got to win the day. What's today? And every day they've come to practice with their hard hat on. And I love that. I mean, they haven't been too preoccupied with what goes in the future. And whenever we know our future, what it's going to look like, I'm really, really confident these guys have put in the work, are going to be ready when it starts.
I want to touch on the newcomers real quickly. I know we're gonna let Keith and Tate get off the show here in a minute, but I want to ask those two about the newcomers, and in particular Baylor and Braden. One of you guys mentioned Braden as the best shooter, and then also maybe talk about Cooper coming back after sitting out a year. So in particular, I'd like to hear about Baylor, Braden, and then Cooper coming back. So maybe Keith, you can start.
It just brings more depth. I really love Braden's game. He's extremely good point guard, has extremely well vision. I love playing alongside with him too, because he'll find me for a great shot. And same with Cooper, really great shooter, just another threat on the perimeter. He actually shot one in my face today, so that just shows you how. And also Baylor, he's another guard. He's a freshman, so he's still in the learning phase, but he's really going to contribute. And I'm looking forward to a good season with these good guards that we added.
Yeah, I mean, all three are really good. Obviously, they wouldn't be here if they weren't. But, yeah, like Keith was saying, Braden, he's really got really good vision. And I was the one he said, I think he's the best shooter on the team, no doubt. Just kind of quick release, and he just gets it off really well. I think the best thing though is I think he has a quality of like a true point guard in terms of leadership. He's got really good basketball IQ, and just knows what to do play in and play out. So I think he's going to help us a lot, especially at the beginning. And then Coop, obviously, he had a great freshman year, can really shoot it. I think he's getting better defensively too. And Baylor, like Keith was saying too, he's learning right now. He's got a lot to take in, but he's definitely going to be a really good player as he progresses through the program. So,
all right, I'm going to fire you another quick question. You got to give me a quick response here. This comes from Heather and Olivia Hodge. They're both super excited to see you play this year. Who do you think is going to be your toughest opponent in the Valley this season? I'll start with toughest opponent.
Is it on me?
Yeah, you're Keith, right?
Oh, yeah, it was breaking in and out.
You were breaking out, Steve.
Our toughest opponent, for me personally, I would say every team we step in front of, because that's just the Valley. Like day in and day out, like every team is good. So I wouldn't rate one higher than another. I would just say every opponent we step in front of.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The Valley's tough. Everyone's coming for you every game, every night in, night out, for sure. But, UNI is going to be really good this year. They got a lot of pieces back. And, Bradley's always a tough game, the past 2 years. So definitely, I think I would say those two. But like Keith was saying, the Valley's, it runs deep. So.
All right, we're right up at 6 o'clock. We promised you guys that we'd let you go after a half hour. Before you jump off, I want to give Keith especially a chance maybe to redeem himself. Any questions that you answered earlier that you may want to change or switch up, you may have thought about a little bit more, and
Stay
you
strong,
may think a little.
Stay convicted.
Hey, I would love to see you and Coach play one-on-one, but I'm going to stick with my answer. Porter Moser.
Steve's like typical 6'8" guys. Just want to float around the 3-point line.
Well, hey guys, we really appreciate you taking the time. It's so good for our fans, our alumni, to see a different side of you, to see the kind of fun and the sense of humor and the personality that you guys have. They watch you on the court, but to see this side of you is special for everybody. So we appreciate you taking the time, and wish you all the best. We'll see you over in Norville, and hopefully a chance to see you in Deal here this season. So thanks a lot, guys.
Right, thanks for having us.
Yep, thanks for having us.
All right, we're gonna transition. And Porter, I got a couple questions that came in that I'm gonna throw at you before we go to the practice video. Somebody asked about the Myrtle Beach tournament, and a lot of questions about scheduling. And you've mentioned before how we don't know what's going to happen with the non-conference scheduling. Maybe you can talk a little bit more in detail about what's going on there. The Myrtle Beach tournament, DePaul, those are the questions I'm getting. I'm gonna throw some names out here. So Kevin Reedy, Matt Renschler, we're asking about the scheduling.
Truly, right now we're waiting on. So the NCAA says we can play 8 non-conference games in our conference. So we can play 8. It's not like in each game in the tournament counts as one of those 8. So that's what we're starting with. We get 8 of them. Now, Myrtle Beach has already announced they're moving their tournament to Orlando, where the NBA bubble is. Disney owns ESPN. Myrtle Beach is an ESPN tournament, but they also have 7 other events, the tournaments, different ones around the country that they're all moving there. So they're trying to sort out what dates are what. So we don't know exactly what date we're going to start. So that's why it's holding us off on the other non-conference games. There's also been talk about cross-playing some of the other teams in the bubble while you're there. So if a team from another tournament, if it wants to stick around afterwards and play a non-conference game, we're all for that. I said, hey, sign Loyola up. I'll play anybody. And we might fall into some games against some Power 5 schools we normally would not have played. So we are all about that. I mean, there's not a school that we have said that we don't want to play. So everything is predicated on when Myrtle Beach gives us that, or the ESPN gives us those dates. From there, we've got to look at what games that we're going to play. The DePaul game is we don't know yet. I know they're under some things waiting to hear what the Big East says they can do and when the Big East might start. So everyone is in this holding pattern to see what their leagues are going to do and these exempt tournaments are going to do. So, we really, truly, we're going to let people know right when we know, but we don't know one game scheduled yet. We're just waiting for that ESPN to tell us about the Myrtle Beach dates, and then we can schedule the other games from there.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts. And one of the things that I really respect about Porter and the way he runs his program is he's not hiding from anybody. And when we talk about the Orlando tournament and going down there and playing, his motto has been, let's play the best teams we can play. And put together the toughest schedule possible. And he's said it before. He'll say it a million times. We'll play anybody, anywhere, anytime. And not all coaches are operating that way. And so we'll put together the best schedule possible. Joe Shields was asking about whether or not games would be televised. We're going to stream in Can Gentile or not. When we're playing on the road, the tournament, as Porter mentioned, down in Orlando is an ESPN tournament. So those games I'm certain will be on one of those ESPN channels or ESPN Plus at the very least. So we're going to put together the best schedule possible, and we're excited about the opportunity to maybe play some teams that we won't get a chance to play on a regular basis. So the last question, then we'll hit the get into the practice clips from Bill Highland, was asking about. A lot of depth. We talked about the 5 returning starters. We talked about some of the newcomers. There's some other guys that we didn't talk about necessarily, but you've got a lot of guys who are going to be, Missouri Valley Conference level players. How are you going to keep them all happy? How are you going to manage the playing time with so many good players?
It's a great problem to have. I'm loving having this problem. Let me just tell you right now, and I have so many Rambler fans that have watched this over the years. It's so much better to have that problem than wonder who the heck you're going to put in the game. With that said, strength in numbers. I'm telling everybody, strength in numbers, and everybody's got a role, everybody's got value, and you just, I love the competition going on right now. There's some extreme competition going, and that is a good thing. I love how everyone's not worried, because we really don't run this. You're the 1, you're the 2, you're the 3, you're the 4, you're the 5. We have our 5 and 4 guards. That's how we phrase it. So, we had Clayton, Ben, Marcus. We've had, last year, Marquise and Keith playing together. You heard Keith saying, hey, I love going with Braden. Like, it's not like, hey, we only got 1-1. I want interchangeable parts. All 4 guys got to be able to dribble, pass, shoot, come off ball screens, bring it up in the transition. It's 4 guards and a big. That's what we play. And if some of them are playing together, like we had a rotation the other day. It was Marquise, Braden, and Keith, the 3 smallest guards. They're hard to guard. They all can dribble, pass, shoot. And so it's a good problem. Obviously minutes aren't going to be equal all the way across the board. And, I was asked that question last year, and all of a sudden Keith got hurt. And, so it's strength in numbers. And it's a problem that we'll see. And for me, I'm gonna have to balance it. But it's having some good competition and practice. It's our deepest practices we've ever had.
Safe to say it beats the alternative, right?
Absolutely.
I think now you know why Porter has become a very popular motivational speaker. I've got a couple chats here from guys. Jim said, thanks for tonight's Zoom. I'm pumped. And one of our good friends, Jerry Corcoran, he wrote in and said, Porter has me fired up. I need him to come down to my office and talk to my people. It's hard not to get excited. It's hard not to get excited after watching this. And so I think we're gonna wrap it up. I know Porter's got a recruiting call he's got to jump on. But I want to thank Porter and Keith Tate for joining us for the show. Thanks to everybody from behind the scenes, Brian Day, Patrick Wallace, Kieran Murphy, Bill Behrens, and a huge thank you to all our season ticket holders, alumni, fans, Loyola families who joined us for this edition of Porter's Mailbag. Look forward to seeing you at the next episode. Stay well and have a great night, everybody. Thanks so much.
Thank you, everybody. Stay safe.
Bye now.